Well, for more, we can speak to David Camroux, an adjunct professor at Sciences Po. Hello to you, David. In the past few minutes, a couple bits of information coming down on the wires. First, Cambodia's prime minister saying that they would support Malaysia mediating this conflict, and then saying that Thailand has reversed its initial support for Malaysia to mediate. What do we make of all of this?
Well, it's Malaysia in its capacity as having a rotating presidency of ASEAN, and that's the important point. ASEAN, since its creation in 1967, has been very successful in solving interstate conflicts, much less successful in solving conflicts within member states, but very successful. There's not been a conflict actually since ASEAN's creation between two member states. So this was to be predicted, that the ASEAN rotating presidency would intervene. Anwar is a neighboring country. Malaysia is a neighboring country, rather. Anwar Ibrahim is very active in trying to give ASEAN a stronger role internationally.
But I'm just curious why we heard from Bangkok, first of all, saying that they don't want third-party mediation, and then that they wanted bilateral negotiations with Cambodia, but then later on saying that they would be open to Malaysia stepping in. Are we getting clear messaging out of Bangkok?
No, we're not, because within Bangkok, in the background of this conflict between Cambodia and Thailand, is an internal domestic political conflict between the military and the military-linked parties and the prime minister, who's now being suspended, Pangdoan Shinawatra. It's a conflict between, the political conflict over basically expelling the Shinawatra family, three of whom have been prime ministers, from Thai politics. And so what the military is doing is following a plan which has been prepared for some time, which is called the Trakabongsan Punawat plan. It's a show of force. The Thais have overwhelming air superiority. The Cambodia does not have an air force. There's a few helicopters for transporting people around, but it doesn't actually have an offensive air force. So what the Thais are doing is what they do, actually the Thai military is doing is what they do when they have a coup d'etat. Of the 12 coup d'etat, only 3 of them actually led to bloodshed. The rest of the time, what the military does, it comes in, it shows its muscle, so to speak, and then there's a resolution. And I think that's the game plan they're following in this particular situation as well.
At each side, between Thailand and Cambodia, blaming the other for firing first on Thursday. Do we have any more understanding about what really happened then?
We don't have much clarity on that. I mean, one between a conspiracy and something that ordered from Phnom Penh or Bangkok and something which occurred locally from, some soldier or some commander acting independently, that we're not quite clear. What is clear is that the Cambodians are sending in heavily artillery, which was not the case back in the conflicts between 2008 and 2011. And one of the problems is that because there's this dispute about the borders, in 2011 there was a decision to create a commission which would seek to define where the borders are, because out of the 817 kilometers, 185 of those kilometers, 195 rather, are disputed. And there were meant to be yearly meetings of this commission. They've never been held. And so we're now, in a sense, paying the price for this bureaucratic inertia and the lack of political will to actually find a diplomatic solution. Especially given that Cambodia, the International Court of Justice in 1962 said that at least some of these territories are Cambodian and not Thai, which the Thais have never quite accepted.
And if there were a proposal to put those previously scheduled, not scheduled, but those meetings to occur, to look at that disputed border, would that be enough to quell the tensions, or are we too far beyond that now?
No, I think it would be enough to cure the tensions, because neither country has any interest in a war. There are 1.2 million Cambodians working in Thailand. They are vital to the Thai economy. Trade between the two countries has blossomed. So there's no real reason on either side, except the sort of nationalist saber rattling on both sides for domestic political reasons. In the case of Hun Sen, I think one explanation I've heard is it's a way of deflecting attention away from the relationship between the Cambodian elite and the scam centers, which are earning billions of dollars on the border of the border areas of Cambodia. So it's a way of deflecting attention away from this complicity that the Cambodian elite has with criminal activity.
The UN Security Council is scheduled to hold an emergency meeting this Friday on the crisis. What do you expect to come out of that meeting in New York?
Well, I think they will probably subcontract the problem back to ASEAN, because ASEAN probably is best placed, given that it's two of its members are involved. And it has the capacity with dealing with these sorts of interstate conflicts between its members.
And real quickly, given the complex state of affairs in Thailand between its military and the monarchy there, do you think we are in for this conflict continuing in the short term, or do you think this could be hopefully wrapped up rather quickly?
No, I think that, to use a metaphor, I think that Thaksin Shinawatra will be the sacrificial lamb. And I think there may actually have been a deal between Hun Sen, the Cambodian leaders, and the Thai military, because it's Hun Sen who basically denounced Thaksin's daughter. And it's also Hun Sen who revealed that that Thaksin lied about his health situation when he returned from exile. So I think that, the Shinawatra family will find itself now pushed aside once again, and the military-dominated political parties, elite, the conservative royalist elite, will come to the fore once again.
All right, David, thank you very much. David Camroux from Sciences Po. Thank you.